right, we're good. What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games BS, part of Den Media Group, presented by Alpha Male Jacks. Alpha Male Jacks is really where you need to go. Get some of that like your brain not working, foggy, hormone levels down, need to get stuff in check. You gotta go check out Alpha Male Jacks. That's basically the best thing I can tell you to do. Go there and feel young again. I know I don't like the way that they market these male things. And I can tell how great. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. It's funny until you become old. And nobody explains. So you don't. So a lot of you guys right now are going to be listening to this, or you're laying with it. Because I got to go back and look. We're almost at 30% with women, like with some of the stuff. But I think that's because of the Freaknik documentary video that we did. But make sure when you guys are signing up for your YouTube accounts, you classify whatever you want to classify as, but I'm just saying the data helps us. But some of you are laying next to a guy that when you met him, it was great. But now, something off about him and he doesn't know how to tell you, or you're a woman and you're off. You got to know what your hormones, like really, there's not one pill that's going to change everything. You got to make a lifestyle change, but the best thing that you could do is go get your blood panels drawn. And if you're a male over 30 years old, they'll do it for you for free over here at Alpha Male Jacks. Gonna check your estrogen level because some of y'all got a little bitch in you. So they're gonna do that for you. Check your testosterone, they're gonna check your cholesterol, see your sugar levels. It's a bunch of different things that they're gonna check. And they'll do the same thing for women. And if you're a guy, now what we can't do is we can't do BBLs. We don't have that. But there, however, a BDL. But it's not the same though. You can go get this. There's a lot of different options for the BDL. I wouldn't get the slice. But what's crazy is, about stem cells, right? Miles, have you heard about these things? Oh, excuse me. I think you can't use stem cells as a term. Anyways, it's regenerative therapy. The same therapy that when they can put a needle in your shoulder and it helps revitalize the red blood cells and all that kind of stuff up there. You can shoot it in your knee joint, shoot it in your dick, and apparently makes it grow. I don't know. I don't like needles, but I think I'm decent enough. But you might not be. It's really, I won't, even if you tell me for more information about it. Dr. G is real cool on that. Like, it's very discreet. Nobody would know. But like, my point is, you don't have to suffer. You no longer have to suffer in silence. That's the point of all of this. What do I have a Cash App for? Oh, they're asking me. Oh, somebody sent me some bread. Oh, yeah, that's my dude from yesterday. Shout out to Charles Barnett. But anyways, we're inside. I got to go. That's right. I got other shit to do to talk about. So anyway, Alpha Male Jacks, inside the world's greatest cigar lounge, Goodfellas. If you're a member on the all-in level, you get a free membership here. Bunch of other stuff like that. So make sure you're checking your memberships. Would love for you guys to be able to do that. We're continue to grow that. But before I talk about that, I got to talk about the first ask, which is the book bag drop. We're still right around hovering. I got to go back and look at how much money has been pledged and effectively raised. We may be close to 600 now, but it's still not a lot. But I want to shout out to my guy, Charlie Barnett or Burnett. I don't know how you pronounce it per se. He shot $150 last night. For the book bag drive. We've been getting stuff like that. My guy Mark Rogers sent 180 the other day. A bunch of people are getting, those are how we're going to get this thing rolling. It's going to be here before you know it. We're going to do Orlando the 22nd, Tallahassee the 29th and the 30th, and then Jacksonville the 5th and the 6th for book bag drives and camps. You can make checks payable to MFTK Foundation. You can go to MFTK Foundation at Venmo, donate money, MFTK Foundation at gmail.com if you want to use PayPal because it's a little bit more secure. Money sign MFTK36. We do Zelle. We do all kinds of different things. MFTKfoundation.com is probably the best website to go to for all information. But just check that out. We're still trying to get 3,600 book bags. A big, big, big way to go. Yeah, don't really. Yeah, so that's basically that part right there. Still on a road to get 3,000 subscribers. I'm liking the growth that we have. I think we're at like 30. I know we got 3160 or something like that. Maybe a little bit over that. 3163. As of right now, the minute we get to 3,000, we will do a $300 cash giveaway. Then we will also, once we get over 3,000 subs, I will put 2 of my tickets to the FSU LSU game in Orlando. We will have a giveaway on one of the shows getting closer to the season. If we get to 5,000, I'll give away 4 tickets. That'd be cool. Obviously, we'll still give away the monetary denominations as well when we're doing that. We got to get to those numbers though. So that's the goal. We're growing. I appreciate it. Just want to continue to grow. If you don't want to pay the money for the memberships or the book bag drive, let the sponsors and advertisers through YouTube do it. That's what we're going for right there. I'm trying to think if there's any other housekeeping things. I know we always got to get through those things. I think that's basically it. But happy belated Father's Day. I hope all the guys got what they wanted, or at least, and most of the men want to spend time with their family. And hopefully they didn't have you on that damn grill, because I know a lot of you guys, a lot of them, the best cooks, believe it or not, which is why I always laugh at women when they bring up these stereotypes. A lot of the best cooks in a lot of people's families are men, and you can't have the grill master stereotype and then say men just want women to cook. Like, it kind of just completely destroys a lot of the things that you guys feel like people like. The only thing a man might ask you to do is make him a fucking plate. But like, is that really that hard? You're gonna make your children plates? Least you can do, but whatever. I hope you didn't have to be out there in the sun or in the rain if you're in Florida. But it's indifferent because, again, I think families just don't know how to buy men gifts the way they do. But I like my t-shirt that I got. It had a guy with short dreads, looked like when they do the like if Disney Pixar was making, like when they make the black movies, like the black cartoons, it was kind of like that. So, and then they had a picture of a bigger kid and then a littler kid. So Trey and Kai had their names on it, so that was kind of cool. I got some Crocs that I can't fit, but we'll get that corrected. But I kind of got peace, but I didn't, because everybody kept asking me. But the whole reason, and this is what I told Coach, and I told Coach Norvell this, and I got some things. Oh, before I even get I don't have it. We're going to have to put this on the channel. Trey was in nerd camp all last week. Like, one of the nerd camps. It was a cool nerd camp, but then he did his athletic camp. He learned how to make film, how to write movies, edit them, and videotape them. Oh, really? Yeah, so he was in a group, and they did 10 movies, of which 5 of which Trey wrote and scripted, and then did all these different things, which I thought was cool, because he wants to have a YouTube channel. But now his YouTube channel got delayed. It's going to get pushed back because I don't consider this punishment. He's not in trouble, but maybe you guys can let me know if I'm being too harsh, because I'm going to show the stuff of what he did first. I sacrificed my entire Father's Day weekend, and I will do this for the rest of my life if it means putting my kids in the best position that they can be put in. Happens to be that I have a lot of good connections at my alma mater, Florida State. So Mike Norvell has his youth camp, and don't blame Mike. I don't think Mike even really knew what the fuck. Juneteenth is a new thing to white people. I had to work. So they made it on. That sucks. That sucks. The only black guy ever. Yeah. Juneteenth, if you don't know what it is, basically America's so cold because they don't teach you guys this stuff. So one thing I want to do, I want to educate you about sports, but I want to educate you about life in general. America's so fucked up that, first and foremost, when Lincoln did the Emancipation Proclamations, slaves in the Union weren't free. I mean, black people in the Union weren't free because they were automatically assumed free. It freed the slaves in the Confederate States, but they hadn't won the war yet. So technically they weren't free yet. It was just like they had to get free. So that was one thing. The war ends. 2 years later, the cats in Texas are still being slaves, don't even know that they're free. They out there just working, and then a Union boat had to roll up on people and say, hey, y'all niggas need to stop working. It's probably how I'm not using this in a derogatory sense. I'm using this as probably what they said. Another movie I love about that, like Django is a movie I gotta watch, and The Hateful Eight or two. No, I've seen so many clips that I understand everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you love the meme of
not in front of my niggas, he can't. Hey. Or the one with the KKK. Oh, I can't say shit in these hoods. I was listening to Quentin Tarantino stuff about like how it went into it, and it was just even Jamie Foxx like cussing him out. I mean, no, excuse me, Quentin Tarantino cussing Jamie Foxx out about, he's like, yeah, I knew this was going to be a problem. You come over here and you fucking Range Rover and your Louis Vuitton bag and all this shit. You're so fucking cool. He's not fucking cool. He's a fucking slave. He cannot read. He's a slave, and I need you to be a fucking slave. That big. He's not Jim Brown. He's not the hero. He becomes the hero. But anyways, all that shit to say, I'm not mad at Mike throwing a camp on Juneteenth. Motherfuckers was working. So we come out there and Trey does this, but Trey, we do our tour. He gets shout out to my dog, my little nephew. I can't call him little bro because he's way too younger than me. So I got to call him nephew, Kalen DeLoach. Kalen gives our guys a tour. Now, they had big recruiting weekend. But you know who we run into when we're doing the tour? We run into Mike Norvell. And Trey said something to his mother that I posted on the internet. Because Trey had major concerns because he saw LSU has air-conditioned helmets and he thought it wasn't fair. And he says, I'm going to talk to Mike Norvell about this. But let's go look at all the different things. Like Mike, like nobody else is getting picked. Mike's signing autographs, but Mike had it was like 1,000, it was like 500 kids at this camp. I wasn't sitting in line for 500 fucking kids to take a picture with Mike in front of the little graffiti thing. When I know Mike gonna stop for me. And Mike will sit there. He was doing this stuff right there. This is me being a really good dad. Great camera angle from your father-in-law.
Oh, yeah.
I look slim as fuck right here because you got the back. Like my back is the back of a former athlete. If I can get my front to look a little bit more like my back, I'll be good. But he was out there. Mike introduced himself to your father. Wow. And he was walking with me. So he comes over there, shakes his hand, talks to him, and he's like, I know who you are. I'm like, I kind of told your fucking wife that I'm kind of a big deal over here. Don't know why, but whatever. So that's the kids that's after the camp. We got Killer comes up. Mike ain't picked Killer up this time like he did the first camp. Killer a little heavier now. I ain't mad at him on that. But Mike signs Trey's lanyard and whatever. And I think we got one picture with us taking our group photo. And of course, Trey. Well, at this point, Trey, there's a reason why Trey's looking like this. Trey is embarrassed and mad. And this is why he can't have a YouTube channel. Mike told Trey when we were at the thing that I got to talk. I know there's something that you want to talk to me about. I can't wait to have that conversation with you, but I got to go right now. He's recruiting. At the end of the camp, we go up there. And Mike says, you want to have that conversation with me now? And Trey doesn't understand that it's right now. Right now means you got to have it in front of me with all these people. It wasn't like a private conversation. It was nothing. He just wants to know about the fucking helmets. But Trey's thinking that he's going to get Mike to the side and talk to him. And I'm like, bitch, this is a head fucking football coach, man. Hell wrong with you? So Mike is encouraging him. Mike's daughter gets in on the game. And you could talk to him. He's not as scary as he looks. He's my dad. And Trey's just like, oh my God. So he's embarrassed. And I said, hey, you missed the opportunity. And Mike said, I would have told other people this, but I was waiting to tell you. I'm like, you're about to break news, Trey. Trey, you got breaking news. Mike Norvell's got is going to give you, it would have, if Trey would have done the interview, right? Because this is what I'm trying to teach him. This is why I told him he's not ready. Trey does this interview, puts it on his YouTube channel. Anything FSU related would have easily gotten him 2,000 to 3,000 views.
Yeah.
Would have got him followers, would have got him all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to teach him this stuff. And he got these opportunities to interview people that know. Trey lives a life that most adult males would kill to have. Every coach, Fuller talks to him. Every coach at Florida State knows who Trey is. Trey can go on. Trey could go on campus without me and tour the facilities at this point. But for those who are curious, because Trey didn't even want to record something after it, Florida State has air conditioning helmets just like LSU. We just haven't done all of the different things, so it's kind of cool to know that. But what was dope is I'm like, yo, Mike really Mike is cool. I told him it's hard to hate. It's hard to dislike people who like your kids. I have no idea how they work. I don't want. So when I played, they came up with the air conditioned shoulder pads, and basically it was like a hose. Connect the hose, and it will cool you down. It got like in this heat, like to go from like when you have your shoulder pad, like to go from engaging in heat activity to come. And for guys like me who have asthma or sports induced asthma, it's like it constricts my lungs, so it made it harder to breathe. I'd rather just be either I'm hot or cold. I don't want to be hot and like keep going back and forth. It just makes me worse. But I want to show one of the videos I sent you with Trey with the camp, because we did our tour of the facilities. Then Charles came with us. Junior came with us, which is Charles's dad, hood dude. But this is pretty impressive right here. This is a 30-inch box in Crocs. And then, of course, Kai wants to do everything that he sees his brother do. And he actually Kai got a little spring too. Which makes me think Kai is like Trey is. So
you gotta just pick your feet up, Charles.
Clay was the cerebral one, very smart, worked hard for everything.
Go ahead.
Cole was dumb, but he wasn't as smart and way more athletic.
You gonna actually go? Go ahead.
Senior year, worked hard. Finally got 100.
That worked too.
200.
You got it, Charles?
Bench press. Very proud of him. Cole's like, oh, you've been working real hard for this.
You gotta just pick your feet up, Charles.
Cole just lays on the bench, picks him up, he just starts repping it out.
There you go.
And I think that's gonna be Kai. Kai is gonna because Kai's just a better athlete.
Okay.
Kai just wants to do everything he's straight.
You gonna actually go? Go ahead.
Including like try. Just run up and stuff. Like
that worked too.
There was no hesitation.
You got it, Charles.
And then that's what he did the entire weekend. Jump down off of stuff. And that's
you gotta just pick your feet up, Charles.
Like when people say movies influence kids.
There you go.
Spider-Man definitely influenced me.
All right.
He's jumping down off.
Go ahead.
But
okay.
YouTube channel.
You gonna actually go? Go ahead.
Realize
go ahead.
Try. You can't turn down these opportunities.
That worked too.
Me,
you got it, Charles?
I had to go. Again, dad, being the great dad that I am, I didn't make him walk like the kids. That's it. Did you tell him coming in? That's good. Felt right there. Like, yeah. And I'm in the back seat. Like, you got to fight up the kids. Everybody. Did you tell him coming in? One is the cancer because that brother got right. Fight up the kids. It probably was. It looks like the type of guy that he's working in camp. Did you tell him coming in? You'll have a guy that owns my brother. Like, I'm telling you, if I had shit, I told you, all I need is out every driver. I understand the kids. That's $1,000 a year I was spending. Just having somebody drive me. But anyways, get into the real world. Sometimes, you know, what is it? It be your own tweets. It's one of those famous things, and life hits you fast. I have consistently, I will die on this, that I don't believe Ja Morant did anything. Now, if you wanted to get him the first time because he was in a strip club with a gun, you don't know how he got that gun there. Fine. I've seen 17, like they tell you he punched a teenager. They don't tell you they punched a 17-year-old when he was 20, when he was like 22.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a difference. Like now, if he kicked Trey in a pickup basketball game, that's a problem. Y'all seen these 17-year-olds? Y'all seen Zion Williams? Him and Zion Williams were on the same team. Zion was 17 at one point in his life, big as shit.
Yeah. I'm not saying the kid have it coming. I'm just the jury's out.
Right, okay, fine. All I'm saying is if I'm in a car and I got my gun, which ended up being a lighter, by the way. It was one of them gun lighters. It wasn't even a real gun.
Is that what he's saying?
No, like he actually flipped it out, like and sent this family a picture when they were concerned.
Oh, really?
And it was lighting candles with it. My point is, there are really terrible people out here that go to that get caught with guns in a real bad manner. But it can happen to any one of y'all, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is New England Patriots DB Jack Jones. This is what he had to say about the Ja Morant situation. He added them too.
Oh,
Ja Morant dumb. You letting social media and your pride ruin your real money. Put them guns down and run that money up. Make one of your homies sign up for security or concealed carry, which we do not know if that has not happened.
right.
If you feel like you need it that bad, but you the breadwinner, you got to start acting. Patriots cornerback Jack Jones arrested at Boston Logan International Airport for an attempt to bring 2 guns on a plane. I don't think people that is, how the fuck do you forget you have guns on it? One, Jack, that is stuff that you just talked about with Ja. You probably should do it on your own. And if you knew enough about gun laws, you can travel with guns. You just have to go and you have to check them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it because I don't know what the gun laws are, and every state doesn't exercise reciprocity. So, like, just because you got a concealed carry in Florida doesn't mean that it works in Georgia, doesn't mean that it works in other states. I actually don't know which ones my concealed carry works in. But I don't, like, if I'm going somewhere, and I'm flying, I'm not going nowhere where I need a gun. Or maybe you should go hire security and get one of your homeboys. It's just like, do you see how easy it is to, like, fall back into the things that you're telling other people to do? Like, sometimes you can just shut the fuck up.
Especially because he's trying to help.
One, guns aren't necessarily light, and neither are bullets. So what do you mean by that, James? I just shout out to my boy V, went to Green Acres. V, if y'all saw the gun, V got him a mechanic, beautiful mechanic. Nice packaging when you come, better than mine. I'm a little jealous. They even give you like a little fake minigun, like a collectible.
Oh, really?
Like when you buy the mechanic. I was like, damn, this man. None of the other shit, like all the stuff to break it down and clean it too, comes with it. But I really wanted to buy another one because I wanted the little miniature gun. It doesn't shoot or anything. It's just a little miniature gun. And then he bought 1,000 rounds of ammo. Let me tell you this. You ain't just, I go, it's a little box. I go and try to one-hand it. And that bitch don't move. So but even if he just brought a gun with 2 clips, standard 18 and a 20, or even if he had a 12, it's not necessarily like you can feel it, right? So if you're putting it in your bags, you should know that like that bag's a little heavier than what it would normally be. And that's all I'm saying is you forget that. That's why I keep mine. It's literally in my glove compartment. It's only for when I drive and when I'm and I have my home. I have my own guns at home. When I'm flying, I fly a lot of places. I travel a lot of places. I travel places where I don't need a gun. I stay in places purposely where I can feel like I can walk. Kansas City might have been the safest place I've ever been in my life. Downtown KC, downtown Indy, or you just walk with people. But my point is that it's very easy for fucked up shit to happen. So, yeah, I don't understand why people feel the need to do that dumb shit. But again, life comes at you fast. But when people keep saying this shit, right? And for those who don't know, Ja Morant got slapped with 25 games. Right now, Probably will appeal it and probably get it cut in half. But they gave him. It's not a lot. Like, so everybody, so what I was trying to tell everybody, like, yo, he's not gonna get suspended for the season because he didn't do anything. They're going to give him something that's palatable enough to where he's not going to raise a fuss. Because if he would have got suspended for an entire season, every contract lawyer in the United States would be beating down his door to take this shit. And it would have cost the NBA a lot more than what they, and it would have made people want to investigate them more. NRA would have probably got behind it. It would have been some shit.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to lose it. But you know who realized how valuable this man was? Nike. Man, shoes sold out in minutes. Nike ain't had shoes sell out. Like, LeBron's about to release some shoes that ain't gonna sell out in minutes. They'll sell out. They're gonna do well, but they ain't gonna do that well. He will make more money off of you people. Like, have y'all ever realized how bad it is when y'all start bashing people and then you realize that they're smarter than you? Like, have we never learned our lesson? Richard Sherman was the first one. Then we found out that Richard Sherman was had a 3.98 GPA at Stanford. The man made 1B in his entire life. And it ended up being good. Now he got the CTEs and shit, but yeah. Everybody talked about how stupid Marshawn Lynch was for not interviewing with people. To find out that Marshawn Lynch was probably the most fiscally conservative person on his team. He was given, then you find out what he studied at Cal. Cal is one of the best schools you can go to in California. He's over there. He studied finance. This man's making more money in endorsements now than he ever did. Because what you're doing is you are giving them free publicity and you don't know it.
Yeah.
If you just shut the fuck up, because sometimes we can just shut the fuck up sometimes, especially if you're not getting paid. I always ask people, how the fuck do you care so much when you work at McDonald's or you work behind a desk? Why do you? I know why you care. You care because you've never been that great at anything. This is what America is. He's so fucking good at dribbling a basketball that he could probably get away with some shit that you couldn't get away with. But that's the lesson. Be so great they can't deny you, because you know what Nike said? We're going to back Ja during this situation.
Yeah, Nike believes that Morant is taking accountability and prioritizing his well-being. That is such a
smooth spin. But again, as I told y'all, Travis Scott, whose shoes I'm wearing today, actually had people die.
Yeah.
Nike took the shoes off the shelf for a couple days, put them bitches right back on, because you know what they do? They sell. This is a capitalistic society. You got to understand capitalism. If you don't learn it, you're going to always scratch your head. I don't scratch my head about capitalism. I know if you can sell, you can move product, you're going to always have a job. If you're good, you're going to do that. Another thing against that, we can just sometimes just shut the fuck up. Mariah Mills. I know more about Mariah than I ever cared to know about. If you saw it last week, or last week, it's wild because Zion and Ja Morant played on the same AAU team. And they're both going through some wild shit. Who the fuck? Their coach did not prepare them for life. But Zion ran into some things that, if we're being honest, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be candid with you guys. I actually had somebody ask me the other day, how can I be so candid and talk about my life the way I do, with, knowing that my mom watched, knowing that everybody watched. I don't really have nothing to hide. There's no lies. Shit happens. Mariah is about 30-something years old. Zion's is early 20s, maybe mid-20s, I think. I forgot. My daughter's mother is 7 years older than me. I'm gonna be honest with you. She used all the tricks in her, but in today's terminology, I was manipulated. I'm not going to hold you, though. I enjoyed every second of that fucking manipulation. I'm not going to lie to you. Dave Chappelle has a bit. How old is 16 really? I was 17 when I met her. But how old is that really? Like, I knew everything that I wanted to do. I knew this. I could go to jail if I killed a man at 16, 17, and nobody was going to say, well, he didn't know what he was doing. His mind is still developing, blah, blah, blah. Nah, bitch, we, like, people who are real know what's real. But in a world where we have people saying, we have think pieces constantly written, we all know that if the reverse of the I'm going to get my laughs on because Zion's stupid, and this is a dumb bitch. But if the roles were reversed, we would have think pieces, and people would call Zion a terrible person and all of these different things. Zion is the victim in this situation. This chick literally has gone on a tirade, and she keeps adding him, and now finally she got suspended from Twitter because she threatened to drop the mixtapes.
Oh,
now, some of you guys may have never done this before, but some of us in my 20s are a little bit more frisky, a little more voyeuristic, if you will. Somewhere there's some tapes. I know. Don't know where they at, but they're somewhere. And I would tell somebody to just drop it. But if I come and say that I've got tapes of a girl doing something, I'm going to get hit with a revenge porn charge. And those charges are bad. And women are the reason why we have revenge porn, because that's the name of it's called revenge porn. You cannot use pictures. You cannot do those different things to bully people. And so she's like, I'm going to drop the mixtape, basically. One, there's a couple of things like I don't think women really realize how this goes sometimes. Like the reason why technically Ray J should have been able, like they could have found somebody because they say that they were black. You can't blackmail people, and she's basically threatening to blackmail them. An older woman to a younger rich Mark is being manipulated and pushed on social media, and all people are talking about is how dumb Zion is. I'm also gonna put this on here. Men paying for pussy is biblical. Like it goes back to the beginning of time. Like, what's the point of having muscles if you don't flex? Say he was paying for pussy. Who the fuck cares? He still doesn't deserve this from this ant body built bitch. In some way, shape, or form, you're paying for pussy. It just may not be truly transactional. She may need some breaks. I call it positive pussy. You don't want negative pussy around you. You need positive pussy. Positive vagina is good. Whether you're an elite athlete or not, it's stressful. The last thing you need is stress vagina around you. Comes in, you need her mind clear to fulfill her needs. What the fuck is like, especially when you have as much money as he has? What's $100,000 when you're going to make? This is what like he ended up coming like she claims that he gave her $100,000 a month. So let's say that's 1.2 mil. What's 1.2 mil when you're making 60?
And I think something that you would know that a lot of people like me, I don't have a lot of experience with, or just a little bit. Athletes aren't always cool.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Have you seen this motherfucker? Zion looks like the dudes that Michael Jordan saved our world from in Space Jam 1. That man ain't getting girls because of his looks. But who cares? There's looks, swag, money. We are armed with tools to hunt. And that's what happens. And then also women are like just sometimes like the genetics are really good. Yeah, definitely quoted an Ethan line. Oh, snap. Hold on. I may actually have some of the video of the interaction with Trey. I'm going to put that up there. I'm going to send it to you. Maybe if we do a reel, I'm going to get this boy. He's still not going to get his fucking YouTube page. I'll fucking embarrass me a little bit. Coach Norvell said he was cool, though. So just so everybody knows, Coach Norvell said Trey's cool. But yeah, my point in all of this is if this were somebody else, and actually a guy, yeah, I did quote an Ether line. I did think about that. He said, my man Ethan Thomas, who played basketball, played with Michael Jordan. Actually, very cool cat. If the roles were reversed and a man was doing what Mariah Mills is doing as to Zion, he would have been arrested for harassment 1,000 tweets ago. If you're a head coach, parent, big brother, blah, 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 this is a cautionary tale, and it is. It is. I can't even see. What does Mark Simmons say? No, my bad. I was saying what Marcus is saying.
But I love the guys that say they never pay.
Oh.
And a good rep.
Oh man, yeah, good for you, brother.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, you're paying for something. Even with me, like Checkers is paying. It might not be Ruth Chris. It might be what you can afford. That's why, actually, it's my determination if I want to pay more. Are you willing to take less in a time of when I don't have? I'm cool with that because I'll give you during my time of. But again, we live in a world where men want to provide. Like, it's actually, I do believe it's an innate self like thing, unless you've buried it down inside and become a Jody. But most men want to provide. Like, it's like nobody wants to sit on. Even when I don't have shit to do, I really hate laying on the couch.
right.
That shit was on Instagram. Damn. Because I got it on Facebook. That's why the one thing, man, Mark, get your shit together, bro. Mark be having stuff on IG and on like, I don't even really realize that it'd be on both. Hold on. I'll click on it and then I just play it. I don't really even care about the you seeing this guy, but it's some good game by older guy. If I can get it to go. Oh shit, it don't even want to go on mine. But it's basically a guy discussing what I'm saying right now. And I do think it is a cautionary tale. I do think it's stuff that I have to educate my sons on. I have to educate just think about the things that boys have been in the front page of the news that some of us did get, but that a lot of times women don't want to actually discuss. I've had to talk to my sons about Travis Rudolph and not just running to getting one. I told Trey, if he ever fucking touches my guns without me being around him, I will beat the living fuck out of him. That's how I believe. Like, it's a dad that went viral when he slapped the shit out of his son because he took his guns, posted on social media. A lot of women were like, no, that's why. Don't tell me. Like, I'll say TD Jakes was right about one thing. Don't tell me how to be a daddy. I won't tell you how to be a mama. I don't know. I ain't got no vagina over here. But let me find this thing. But we do need some stuff. But then a lot of times we're telling boys not to be simps, but it's only one way to really like not be that. And it's unfortunate. Oh shit. It doesn't go back, but
and what they doing? Chasing buns. Now I got $100+ million, and the world is my oyster, for a lack of better words. Just like LaMelo Ball, Anna Montana, his girlfriend, she's 30-something years old. This nigga was 19. Why nobody talking about that? PJ Washington and Brittany Renner, like all these other situations. I'm like, why is no one talking about how these grown ass women are preying on these young men, and then we trying to embarrass them? Like, this what you had me doing? This nigga's a victim. I don't care what y'all say.
And that's, I know you, and it's kind of we don't look at black boys as boys. We look at them as grown men because we've seen them for so long, and their athleticism is so great that we put them in a class that they're not. But Miles brought up a great point. You're not really getting the exposure to this kind of stuff. Now, granted, I grew up fast. That's why when people say these kids and these men, listen, bro. I was watching. Have you seen Johnny? You watched Johnny Bravo growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Like when they say the cartoons, it's who said, like, no, you're afraid that your kid is like, I promise you, what happens is the thing that you fear the most, and you keep bringing it up. If you believe in all that mysticism and speaking of the manifestation shit, you're manifesting your child being gay because sex has always been in cartoons. Sex ain't never not been in cartoons, bro. Johnny Bravo literally was in a chair and it turned into a table where it got strapped in and the girl came in and Johnny Bravo was like, I'm into this sort of thing. There is nothing that's non-sexual about that. But I'm just, whatever. But these are the reasons why. Is like when we look, South Park did it like 20 years ago, and it was great when the kindergarten teacher fell in love with one of the little brothers. They go to the police and they say, hey, my little brother is, you say, the teacher's molesting my sibling. And they're like, and they're mad when they think it's a girl. Then they find out that it's Kyle. It's Kyle's little brother.
Yeah.
And then they find out that it's the little brother. And they're like, nice. Yeah. It's like nobody's serious about it when it's on the man's side. It's just like domestic violence. It's a reason why men don't, like, you don't see the statistics because men don't report it because we get laughed at when they report it. It happened to me. And I'm not mad about it. Yeah, I'm not mad about it, but I'm just like, hey, let's not act like some of this shit wasn't egged on. Because and then my problem with it is I always tell people, I get when women get sensitive about it because it's you, it's happening to yours. But like, let's not act like we don't all know ain't shit women. Just like I will not pretend to act like I don't know ain't shit men. And I will not pretend to act like Zion ain't paying for pussy. Strip clubs. I don't know if you guys realize this. You're paying for pussy that you're probably not even gonna get.
If you have a side chick and you buy her a bag,
You are paying for. Even Future says he pays it. Future did a video, the Valentine's Day video with Kevin Samuels. He's like, I spend $3 million a year, or some crazy number, on women. And Kevin's like, okay, $3 million. No, $3 million. He's like, $3 million a year. Okay, that's no, a month. Some of us are paying for pussy past pussy mistakes. You shot up the club and you paying child support. You're paying a lot of money for that. For not pulling out. But anyways, she's now facing a wrath, and at the end of the day, she could have just shut the fuck up. Somebody else that we should have shut the fuck up and just appreciated his legendary status, because now it's the end of an era. Lemon Pepper Lou Williams. After 17 years is retiring. Lou Williams, if a lot of you guys don't know about him, he is the guy who got sent home from the NBA bubble because he went to Atlanta for the death of a family member, and he went to Magic City. But not just that. I told people, and I said this on Sportsnet. Have you had lemon pepper wings from Magic City? Because if you had lemon pepper wings from Magic City, you can understand why Lou Williams, he didn't just go for the vagina, the great strippers. He went because, like, I don't think it's weird because a lot of people have never strip club, a really good strip club. Their cuisine is some of the best you can get. Another place is really good, like poker rooms. Like some of the places where you're going to Vices, you're going to spend a lot of money, you're going to get really good service and really, really good food. Some of the best stir-fried chicken and rice that I've ever had was at a poker room. Good ass hot dog too, man. They had a great fucking hot dog. Like, you know how good a hot dog has to be for you to remember it? Glizzy, which some of you men should be ashamed of yourselves. And you should go to Alpha Male and get your estrogen levels checked, because I'm okay with eating a glizzy. Nobody's going to make me ashamed to eat a chili cheese dog. Now, some of you are despicable humans. A double, triple, and quadruple glizzies, you're scaring the hoes. Like I'm talking about, there's videos of men on Father's Day with 4 hot dogs.
That's a statement.
Yeah, I'm like, dog, you pushing it. You pushing the envelope, man. It's one thing to be an ally. It's another thing to do all this stuff. But Lou Williams wasn't actually really a good basketball player, multiple six man of the year. I didn't realize he was the NBA's all-time leading bench scorer, or score off the bench. It just shows, like, if you have something that you want to do, it's cool. But like, you could be great at being average, and there's nothing wrong with that. But NCAA, speaking of, like, NCAA is now moving forward to make rules. Like, when you've seen somebody say fuck it. So when name, image, and likeness got passed, right? NCAA said, well, if you guys didn't want to play by the rules, then bump it. Y'all have no rules. And they haven't, like, regulated. They got rules, they just don't regulate it. They are, when I tell you they're really saying fuck it now, they are saying fuck it, like, just letting it roll off their tongue. And the NCAA is now, they got rules out basically saying that they're going to let people smoke weed, which I have no problem with. I think it's one of the dumb things, but, like, god damn, you can tell, like, they are just really just, like, at this point, I think you should legalize all drugs personally. I think you will have a lot less problems. There will no longer be a war on drugs. But the NCAA just wants, they're saying, you see the meme is awesome. They're recommending dropping marijuana from the banned drugs list for athletes, and it's going to be some fire ass NIL deals. coming. Because you know who got more money, like just got really disposable income? Cannabis dispensaries.
Hell yeah. We tired of lying on job tests and shit. Just make it legal.
Just federally. Like, to be honest with you,
Pay for fake weed.
I know exactly what's going to happen. I already can see, I can smell it because I think a lot of people are, one, they're fed up with the two-party system in general. We don't know what the fuck's going on with Republicans. I told y'all 4-5 might become my new favorite president. That's the blackest president we've ever had. He's the only, don't crush me, you woke people. Just listen. Listen. 4-5 got got a ton of charges on him. Fed time, right? And his whole base is saying he's innocent. He was set up. What do we do when Pookie gets fed charges? Right. He's innocent. Free my dog. Who started that shit? That sounds real blackish if we were really thinking about it. We know he guilty. We know Pookie guilty. They know Trump guilty. They know if they had those same shits happen to them, like they know they're going to jail for real, but they say Trump being picked on. But I still fucks with 4-5 more than I fucks with DeSantis. But DeSantis, 4-5, all these cats is really, really beefing. Meanwhile, Biden falling asleep and tripping over shit and forgetting what he said. It's not looking real presidential right now. But if he does this, this will unite the entire country. And it will also help with his legacy because the reason why a lot of my friends are locked up is because of Biden and his harsh mandatory minimums that he put with the drug policies. Federally make weed legal. Just go ahead and do it, bro. Trump went in free to. I ain't gonna hold you. Trump went in free to a bunch of my homies. Doesn't mean I agree with everything he says. I would never be one of those people, but like, I can see why Wayne and Kodak Black fuck with him. Like, if somebody came and got me out of the joint, I mean, come on, bro. It's a very good argument. I wish they would make this argument more as opposed to some of the other dumb shit that Republicans say. Literally, you could just run on this.
Even black people don't like Trump. Understand the little Wayne thing. We all like, we get it.
Yeah, I'd be like, man, that was kind of cool. That's fine. Like, you know,
ain't no pushback.
The only other thing that he could do after he does this is when they jam Boosie up. Because Boosie got social media fucked Boosie up. Mark Zuckerberg tried to stop him because he banned him from IG, but he had a gun in the small of his back, and you know he's a felon. So they saw that he got dropped, he got freed on state charges, and then got picked up on Fed charges as soon as he walked out the courtroom. Who got freed, by the way?
What?
Mistrial. Yeah, it's wild, man. Yeah, sometimes you don't want people like for example, if I'm looking for support, I don't want OJ Simpson like to tell me that
the victim's father. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, I don't necessarily want like I mean, you might be right, but I don't need you behind me right now. Like, that's not going good. But another program that said fuck it was UF. UF had a great Father's Day. I bash them all the time. People think I hate. I do, but I'm fair. Now, we talked about Austin Simmons on Friday. Austin Simmons is my guy with the roll up, got mad at somebody else for saying that again, black people, we're hypocrites sometimes. Yeah. Black man, now I will say Josh Newberg was basically DJ Vlad when he was with the roll up and does what some white people do. Chris, if you ever do this, I will never forgive you. I will fucking blast you. I'll let you live, but I'm going to roll. Like, nah, because, you know, so he was cool. He was urban, right? For all these years building up his base, got the job at On3, paying them some good money. And boy, did he get the slick. Like, you know how they got that the little hair thing they do? But they come over wearing the polo shirt button all the way up to the top, just with his hands like this. By talking different, not talking in slang. By golly, when the Austin Simmons is going, like, he's enunciating his words. When Berg was not behind the desk, Berg was black. Berg was trying to get street cred. Berg rolled up on me one time because I said I didn't like how he was reporting the kids trying to transfer. He called me and said, "You being a chatty patty." And I said, "I will slap the fuck out." And so he called me. I was like, "Berg, I will slap the fuck out of you, Berg. Don't you ever talk to me like that again." I said, don't let these trolls gas you up. You got to see me in real life. Like I said, don't you know I know where you work? But when he got behind that desk, man, he went straight Fox News on us. And it's dope. I love the growth pattern for him. It's hilarious. But Austin Simmons was committed to Florida for the class of 2025. He was going to reclassify for the class of 2023 and enroll at Florida. News broke. He decided that he didn't want to do that anymore. And his dad said, we're not going to reclassify. To reclassify and go to Ole Miss, another SEC school. Oh, man. It was great. The timeline was amazing. It was so much roasting going on. Then Billy Napier said, fuck it. I know what we're going to do. Release the commitments. I swear, Florida got like 7 studs committed, like on defense. I got to give them props. No offense. Their quarterback situation is still shitty because the cat that is committed for them in the class of 2024, DJ Lagway, went into the Elite 11 on the last day. I don't think we talked about the last day of the Elite 11 stuff, but like he went like 5 for 17 and 2 interceptions. Like, what is the video? You ever seen In Too Deep with Omar Epps? Yeah. Remember the scene when Omar Epps was supposed to shoot the guy? And he missed him. He was missing them all, but they didn't know. They were like, there's like DJ Lagway in 7-on-7 tournament, just bam, bam. They gave superlatives, right? DJ Lagway got the only superlative that means absolutely nothing. He's the guy who looks the best. He got the best looking quarterback. Everybody else, most accurate quarterback, best arm quarterback, most likely to look like a college quarterback was DJ Lagway's award. Yeah, that was.
That's so bad. I remember this scene.
Hey, we're gonna have to delete it because YouTube. Hey, my bad. If you on StreamYard and all this other stuff, you're gonna miss the videos because they took our whole goddamn video down for Father's Day. Because the last 2 minutes was great. It's like, damn you, Sadiq. Yeah, you don't play. Like, I want to get that big to where I could just say, like, fuck y'all, you ain't using my shit. But this was DJ Lag. This is Florida's 2024 quarterback. Live look at him in 7-on-7 drills. You ain't hit him yet? Do that. Come on. Oh, yeah. The end of it is the funniest. Omar, he gets mad and he's like, he runs out of bullets and he tries to grab somebody else's gun. He's like, nah, man, you ain't using all my bullets. The other thing is when you go back and you watch these movies, right, you notice that a lot of these guys play the same person in every movie. Like there's a guy who's in that who's also in The Wire. And he's now in some other show where he's always a criminal dad. And it's just like that guy's typecasted. Like he can never be a normal person. Nah. Or the Spanish dude that always plays Hector. Like I don't know if whether it's Mexican, Dominican, no matter what thing, he's always gonna play the same person. Nobody's as good as Al Pacino because Al Pacino's played an Irish person, he's played Italian, he's played a Cuban, he's played. Oh, okay, my bad, that's a lie. Andy Garcia is very Spanish and has played mobsters too. Whatever happened to him? He just disappeared. Is he dead? I don't know. I'll kill somebody off in a heartbeat. But to UF's point, like UF's quarterback may not be accurate, but they've been accurate on the recruiting trail. They had a big ass weekend, man. I can't even take that from them. Shout out to UF. And I want to end on a positive note. Well, to me, it is. It's hilarious. To their families, it's not. But to me, it is. I don't know if anybody's been under a rock, but the most interesting shit that's been happening right now is billionaires like deciding that they want to be fools with money. Never, I just said, like, if I make a certain amount of money, I'm going to hire a driver. Never in my life have I said that I want to go to, I'm terrified of the ocean. It's shit. We know more about space than we know about the ocean. But a bunch of billionaires decided to get together and said, you know what? We're going to come up with our own rinky-dink ass rig. We're going to spend $250,000 a piece. There's 5 of them. $250,000 a piece. And we're going to go look at the Titanic. Now, granted, the submarine that they made had no windows because you can't when you go that deep. So they're going to look at the Titanic through a screen. You can do that now. Like, they've got footage of the wrecks. Like, you can go see whatever you want to see. That Titanic is 15,000 feet below sea level. Known ocean killers don't go that deep. We don't know what the fuck is down there. Megalodon is probably down there. Atlantis is probably down there. But it's so many things. And Miles, actually, if you go to the last link on that little group, I think that's where I put the video. It baffles me what rich people are willing to invest in. My bad, it's probably the one. It's one of those. No, it's not that one. That's Tyler Perry trying to put something on BET. He ain't got the money, apparently. Yeah, this right here. Like, I've gone with a great business plan. And I've even told them, like, I'll give them payments. I personally will sign for some of the money that I want to get on loans for my businesses. And I've had people rip it up and tear me apart to go invest in like a tasteless bubblegum company. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it always baffles me. But let's play this video because y'all need to know that they knew they were armed with all this information. And one of the wildest shits in this is going to be, I can't even describe to you the wildest piece in all of this. It's just something you got to hear.
Service. An experimental submersible vessel that has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death. Where do I sign?
Like,
Oh, take your shoes off. That's customary.
Okay.
like,
Wow.
like,
Inside, the sub has about as much room as a minivan.
So this is not your grandfather's submersible. We only have one button. That's it. It should be like an elevator. It shouldn't take a lot of skill.
The Titan is the only 5-person sub in the world that can reach Titanic depths, 2.4 miles below the sea. It's also the only one with a toilet, sort of. And yet, I couldn't help noticing how many pieces of this sub seemed improvised.
We can use these off-the-shelf components. I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Come on.
Off-brand PlayStation remote. These people were going 15,000 miles under the water with a Logitech PlayStation remote. Like, I don't trust anybody that much. Not even my mom. My mom could be like, yeah, baby, we finna go do this, and that. I need you to come. We're going to use an off-brand PlayStation remote. And that's how we're going to navigate. Fuck out of here. My boy, Chip. Yeah, I'm white. But I ain't let's get in the submarine and go look at the Titanic white. Mind you, it took us 73 years to find the Titanic. Meanwhile, these people think we're going to find them. At this point yesterday, they had 40 hours of breathable oxygen left. It ain't looking pretty. And the memes are hilarious. Like, there's things like where people are putting like, what's the first thing you're going to do when you walk out? Actually, if you look on the first thing I sent you, Miles, with that, just for perspective, I want people to, like, it's a chart for perspective on how deep that is. So the Empire State Building is about 1,200 feet up in the air. I mean, 12, excuse me, I said 15,000 feet, but 1,200, 15,000 miles, excuse me, but it's feet. A giant squid, known killer, the maximum depth they go is 3,000 feet. Sperm whale. I always wish we can come up with a better name for that. 4,000 feet. Then you know what the next known thing depth-wise that we know in the ocean? It's the fucking Titanic. There's nothing in between the sperm whale and the Titanic in terms of depth. You know who really is behind all of this? You can't make me not believe that they're not behind this in some way, shape, or form. And they're probably now a pod of them's beach volleyball now. Orcas. You can't tell me the killer whales aren't behind this. The killer whales knew that there were. I think the killer whales are like. Maybe we gotta find some history where killer whales, like in a past life, were like slaves or something from white people. Like not just the SeaWorld shit, but like some real crazy shit. Because they're only attacking. They're not attacking us. Well, we don't go out of the water like that. Never in my life have I ever said I wanted. Like I told Trey. Trey wants to go camping, and I said, son, I will never make that kind of money to where I want to go be poor. Ocean Gate CEO is the name of the company. He was on board the submarine. Their company's confirming that. Good. If somebody's going to die, it should be him. Billionaire father and son among missing on the Titanic sub as the search continues. Pakistani businessman and his son. I just don't know. I don't think I have a friend that could convince me to go and do this. I'm going to be like, are you high? Like, let's go to Essence Fest. Let's go see the Beyonce. Let's go pay for the most extreme seats we can see at Beyonce's world tour. I can think of a lot of things I want to do. I didn't like the Titanic movie. Actually, probably because when they showed it to us, it was the first cruise I ever went on. They showed Titanic. Wasn't a great idea. But the only thing worse than white billionaires, Pakistani billionaires, people who, because there ain't but so many billionaires in general, coming up with stupid ideas, is black billionaires fulfilling every stereotype of black people. And the way I'm saying this is we have one that was supposed to buy the Washington Commanders. He put in a bid for something high. Turns out he didn't have any bread. He didn't have the money to do it. He wanted to put something on it. Tyler Perry's been making headlines for about 2 weeks. And we all want to be proud of him, even though I don't like Tyler Perry. I'm not even going to lie to you. I think all the world's problems in Black America are associated with Tyler Perry in his movies. The only reason I kind of like him is because I have a high school friend, KJ Smith, who's one of the stars of Sisters. He's making sure she's employed, and she's dope. I don't fuck with him, but I fucks with KJ. But they said this was a done deal, and apparently it's not. And Paramount BET sale in doubt as Tyler Perry balks at the $3 billion price. He refuses to cough up $3 billion. The Paramount is asking in an auction for BET, and they're haggling, and that's putting it in doubt. It's not just BET, it's VH1 as well. So BET, everybody was proud to say that BET was going to be owned by a black person again, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. He already owns 25% of BET and BET Plus through his private equity company. The source says he's used to getting his way and he's frustrated. Paramount bought BET for $2.7 billion in 2000 when the Sherry Redstone company owned what's called Viacom. So Viacom used to be owned by that. The company wants roughly 10 times the BET Group's current $325 million or earnings before interest and taxes. But he's just like, nah. He's like, I'm not paying $3 billion for basically for a cable company when ain't nobody watching cable TV like that. So, but she has points. But this is why we gotta not celebrate so quick. And realize that I'm cool with it being for him if he gets it. But at the end of the day, I'll be all right if he doesn't. He's still a billionaire. His problems ain't mine. And that's about it. But anyways, appreciate you guys. Hope everybody had a great Father's Day. Oh, my bad. Let me play y'all Trey's video. So let's see so you can hear it in real time Trey cheesing up. Oh.
When I saw him put out there, I wasn't going to respond to him. I was waiting for him to see. We had him the same day. We just don't have advertising. We know we get
I hope that came in clear. Hopefully I heard that clear. But I'm gonna play that again. That was swagged out on Mike's part. But that was Mike Norvell talking to Trey about the helmet. So I know a lot of people. I promise you, it's truth. But some of my life, the truth is stranger than fiction. Like, and Trey's probably gonna one day look back and be like, "Yo, I talked to some cold ass cats. It had some really good conversations because." Mike literally just said, "Yeah, I was waiting to tell you, and we've been had them shits. We just don't need to be bitches like LSU and tell everybody." But he didn't say the bitches part, but yeah. Anyways, man, on that note, appreciate you guys for chopping up with me. Have a great week. We'll be back on Friday. And make sure you go subscribe. Make sure you become a member. Make sure you donate to the Book Bag Drive. A retweet is just as good as a donation to me. I just want people to know about it. As the people told me at the Gator Bowl when I told them about the results we've had over the last few years, this is the largest Book Bag Drive that nobody knows about. So y'all have a great rest of your week on your hump day, and we'll see y'all later.